On the 8th of September, 2022, at Balmoral Castle, Scotland, Queen Elizabeth II, the longest reigning monarch in British history, died at the age of 96 after 70 years on the throne. The news spread like a storm, plunging the British royal family into grief and the world into shock. From Buckingham Palace to the streets of London, from global capitals to remote villages, her passing was not just the loss of an icon, but the end of an era. This scenario replays the Queen's final hours, the grief of the royal family, and how the world remembers a legend. Queen Elizabeth II, with 70 years of reign, was a symbol of stability, dignity, and dedication. She witnessed great changes, from the aftermath of World War II, the dissolution of the British Empire, to Brexit and the COVID-19 pandemic. As head of state of the 15 Commonwealth nations, she was a link between history and the present. But in the summer of 2022, her health was clearly failing. After her Platinum Jubilee, she withdrew from public events, causing concern across the country. As news of her medical observation at Balmoral spread, the royal family and the world began to prepare for the inevitable. At Balmoral Castle, the atmosphere was heavy. King Charles III and Queen Camilla spent an hour by their mother's bedside, silently holding her hand. Princess Anne, the Queen's only child, and her confidant Angela Kelly kept watch. Reverend Kenneth Mackenzie read the Bible, his deep voice echoing in the quiet room. Edward Young, the Queen's private secretary, later wrote in his memoirs, "She died peacefully in her sleep, painlessly, of old age. No one knew that. The moment she closed her eyes, the world was about to change." In London, Buckingham Palace became the epicenter of grief. Flags were flown at half-mast, and crowds of people, despite heavy rain, gathered to lay flowers in tribute. "She was everything we knew about Britain," one mourner told the BBC. "Now we have lost our hearts." Princes William and Harry, who had been separated by their differences, appeared together at Balmoral, putting aside their differences to bid their grandmother farewell. King Charles III, in his first statement as monarch, said, "The passing of my mother is a moment of great sadness for me and my family. This loss is deeply felt all over the world." The news quickly spread around the globe. In New York, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres praised her. The Queen was a friend of the United Nations, a symbol of compassion and dedication. French President Emmanuel Macron called her a kind queen who will leave her mark for the century. She was a strong leader who inspired a generation, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi wrote on X. From Canada to Australia, Commonwealth countries held memorials, while her portrait on currency began to be replaced with King Charles III. The British royal family, accustomed to maintaining a dignified image, could not hide its grief. Princess Anne, who was closest to her mother, was seen weeping quietly at the funeral. Prince William, now the Prince of Wales, wrote in a statement, "My grandmother was my strength. She led us through every storm." Harry from the US shared a moving speech. "She was a beacon of steadfastness. I will carry her lessons with me forever." But behind the public unity, rifts within the family simmered, especially after Harry and Meghan's controversial 2021 interview with Oprah, in which they accused the royal family of racism. The art world was also shaken. Netflix's hit series The Crown has postponed filming for Season 6 as a tribute. "She is a symbol of resilience, and I am honored to portray her," said Claire Foy, who played the young queen. The 2006 film The Queen, starring Helen Mirren as the Queen, is being re-aired on several television channels, recalling the difficult period in 1997 when she was criticized for her cold response to the death of Princess Diana. "She was the embodiment of nobility, with or without a crown," Mirren said. The Queen's passing is not just a personal loss, but also a historic transition. King Charles III ascended the throne as the United Kingdom faced Brexit, economic crisis, and divisions within the Commonwealth. Some countries, such as Jamaica, have begun discussions about becoming republics, giving up the role of head of state. In Britain, the public is questioning whether Charles can live up to the legacy of his mother, who brought stability through 15 prime ministers, from Winston Churchill to Liz Truss. The Queen's funeral, which took place on the 19th of September 2022 at the Palace of Westminster, was viewed by billions of people around the world. The purple velvet coffin, pulled by 4 white horses, became an unforgettable image. People lined up for miles to pay their respects, a testament to the love she received. But within the royal family, the pain lingered. Charles, strong as he was before, the public, who are said to have wept in private, realized the enormity of the task of succeeding their mother. The death of Queen Elizabeth II was a shock not only to the British royal family but to the world. She was not just a monarch, but a symbol of endurance, devotion, and dignity. The grief of the royal family, from Charles to Harry, reflected the loss of a mother, a grandmother, and a flag-bearer. The world, from leaders to ordinary people, remembered her as a legend. But her legacy, a united kingdom and a cohesive Commonwealth, now rests in the hands of Charles III, who must continue in the shadow of his mother's greatness.